Happy CRAMATHON! It is midnight on the 16th of December, so CRAMATHON has officially begun, and I'm going to try and sneak in just a little bit of reading before I do have to go to bed because I have an essay due tomorrow at like 4, so I'm going to get some sleep. But here's the thing, we're only a few minutes into CRAMATHON and I have already changed my TBR, which I only filmed a few hours ago, but I knew this was going to happen. I always change my mind. When I came up with it, I forgot that I'm already partway through a book and I don't want to stop reading that book for a whole week, for a whole 8 days while I do the CRAMATHON. So I've changed it around to fit in the book I'm currently reading, which is Relativity by Antonia Hayes. This one is set in Sydney, in Australia, so it's going to fit into my set in a different country challenge. So after I stopped reading last night, I then couldn't sleep for a little while, so I'm now just woken up and I've seriously slept in. It is now 11:30. Whoops. So I'm going to stay in bed for just a little bit longer and read some more of Relativity, and then I need to get up and actually do some stuff with my day. Okay, it is actually just past midday now, so I really do need to get up and shower and do some work on my essay before I have to go to my essay meeting at 4 o'clock. But I really don't want to, I just want to stay here and read this all day. It's such a weird book. It's basically about a mother and her son, and we know that the father left years ago when he was a baby, has never had any contact. And from the blurb on the back of the book, it seems like it's this big mystery why he left, but then from when the book starts, like really early on, they introduce the idea that he left because he shook the baby. And they've also just kind of introduced the possibility that it might turn into a kind of science fiction book, so I really can't place it at all, and I want to keep reading just because I'm so intrigued and confused. Okay, I'm back. Oh, it's an excited puppy. Oh, okay. Settle down. Shh, go. Settle yourself there on the cushion, yeah? And I'm back. And in the, 5 hours since you last saw me, I've been on 2 separate bookshop trips, and things have changed for my CRAMATHON plans. So, I just went to a meeting with my essay supervisor, and we basically decided a whole new kind of angle for my essay to take. That's going to take some serious library time, which is going to really eat into my CRAMATHON plans, and I also have to read a whole new novel, because I'm going to write on a different novel than I even thought I was going to do, so I'm changing up my TBR. So this is my second bookshop trip of the afternoon. I went back to Blackwell's to buy Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston because I think I'm going to write about this one. It's my second because I already, while I was waiting for my meeting, was a little bit early and decided to go into Blackwell's. And it's so stupid because the whole reason I wanted to do this CRAMATHON was to work through the massive pile of books that I already own, and I ended up buying 3 more for literally no reason other than I was in the bookshop and I was bored. But I'm going to show you. I got Jazz by Toni Morrison because I've never read any Toni Morrison, which is disgraceful, so I decided this would be a good place to start. Then I got If on a Winter's Night a Traveller. If you watched my Try a Chapter tag video, I read the first chapter of this. I didn't even get through the whole chapter because I fell so in love with it just from the first page, really. So I saw this one, had to get it. And then finally I got Sophia Khan Is Not Obliged because I keep hearing so much about this one on BookTube. Even just this morning I was watching YouTube in bed and I saw someone talking about it again, and I was like, I have to get that, I have to get it soon. So then when I saw it on the shelf I was like, I'll get it now! And then I got home to book mail. I got sent this Everything But the Truth, which I heard about from Claire McIntosh, and it looks so good. So I now have too many books again, and I have to read Their Eyes Were Watching God this week, so I'm going to have to swap out one of my other CRAMATHON ones for it. My TBR has already just gone totally off the rails. For now though, I'm going to settle back down and try and finish Relativity. Finished! 1 down, 6 to go. So, now to decide on what to read next. The book that I most importantly need to read is Their Eyes Were Watching God, but it's like 8:30 now, so I kind of feel like just snuggling down, making some dinner and reading something just a little easier. I settled on this one, because the last one I read was quite emotionally moving, so I'm going for something fun and light now. I am like 20 pages in and I have already laughed out loud about 5,000 times. Getting sleepy, time to put the fire on! So that was CRAMATHON day 1. I managed to finish one book and get more than halfway through a second, so doing pretty well. I read a total of 364 pages. It's now past midnight and I am going to bed. Good morning! Well, not really morning, it is now past 1 o'clock, but we've been up, we've been out for breakfast, we've been for a long dog walk. Now I'm going to settle down and keep reading my Redactress book. Done! That book was completely hilarious. Okay, had a little break, got into my comfy clothes, and now I'm going to pick another book to read. But here's the thing, I started reading the Redactress book at about 9 last night, so if I can finish another book before 9, then I will have completed the 2 in 24 hours challenge. So here are all my options for the ones that I think are short enough that I can definitely finish them before 9. And I think I'm going to go for this one. This is From the Notebooks of Mellon and Son by Jacqueline Woodson, and this would also count for my book that you've been meaning to read, because I actually got this one over the summer and I recommended it in my video I made about how we could have a more diverse Zoella book club. This is one of the ones I suggested, so let's see if I can finish this before 9. And another one down. It's only like 5:25, so I'm well within the limit. I just read 2 books in under 24 hours. Whoop whoop. This one is also under 200 pages, and it's a book I've been meaning to read. So I just ticked off 3 categories in one go. And I am dressed again, because we're going to go to the Christmas market, and then I'll come back and get started on book number 4. I'm back! It is now 8:30, and I'm going to get started on my 3rd book of the day. I'm feeling one of these two. I can't decide. It's either mega happy or mega sad. I think I'm gonna go mega sad. It's too hard to concentrate on reading when my husband is watching Mock the Week. I'm gonna do that for a bit instead. Okay, and we're back in. Husband and dog are fast asleep. And I have finished Grief is the Thing with Feathers. So that is 4 books of my 7 already, and we're only on day 2. Doing pretty well with this readathon so far, if I say so myself. I'm not going to pick up another book tonight because I've got to do a little bit of work for Bustle where I write, so that's the rest of my evening. Good morning. It is day 3 of CRAMATHON and it's nearly 10 o'clock, but I'm exhausted. My sleep schedule has been all kinds of stupid at the moment. I worked until 3 last night, but I need to get up because my main job for today is to read Their Eyes Were Watching God very carefully for my essay, and I also have some other work to do. But I don't want to. Okay, it is 1 o'clock. I've spent the morning doing some of my bustle work. Now I'm gonna make a sandwich, take the dog for a walk, and then finally settle down to Their Eyes Are Watching God. I honestly just feel like since moving to Oxford, I've been such a happier person. Just being able to walk around through these fields with my dog. I don't want to go back to London. Someone help me get a job in publishing in Oxford. Okay, it is 2 o'clock. I'm settling down to read Their Eyes Were Watching God, which by the way is my 100th book of 2016. So presuming I finish this one before the end of December, then I will have finished my Goodreads challenge of 100 books in a year. I'm going to be reading a bit slower than usual today because this one's for my essay, so I'm going to have to be copying out quotes, making notes the whole way through, so let's see if I can get it done in one day, we'll see. So far I've only read Zadie Smith's introduction to this book, but I'm already in love. Guys, I'm being terrible. I'm only on page 22 and I keep procrastinating. I keep reading about what is going on with Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. I keep watching YouTube videos. It's like 4:15. I'm never going to read this whole thing by tonight, am I? Another hour, another 10 pages of progress made. I'm being so slow. I'm actually loving the book, really enjoying it. But I think it's just because, like, psychologically, my brain knows that it's for schoolwork, so it's just resistant. And it does take a while when you've got to make notes. So, making the room feel a little bit cozier now that it's evening. Dinner break! If we're being honest, I've already had several breaks since I last spoke to you. Still really loving the book. It's that schoolwork mentality. I never did go back to my reading after my dinner break. I don't know why, I just feel very tired today. And I think also because I read so many books the last 2 days, my brain's just like, no more books. So that's pretty unhelpful because this is one that I actually need to read for school. The last 2 days I read, I think about 350 pages per day. Today I read 66, but tomorrow is another day. So, funny story, I thought I would just do a little bit of light reading before going to sleep, and I accidentally read this whole book because it was so much fun. So that means I've officially read 5 books so far for CRAMATHON, and I've read 100 books this year! I actually managed to wake up at 8:20 this morning, but I've just been lying in bed. It's now 9:30. I'm still just so tired. I'm treating myself by starting my reading and making notes in bed, but it's a dangerous little game because I might then end up staying in bed all day. So I have left my laptop charger, which is what I'm using to make my notes, downstairs so that I have a limited time to just stay in bed and read. Okay, it is midday. I'm getting myself up and out of bed. Had a good reading session this morning, but still only about halfway through. It just takes so long when you're trying to read it properly. Okay, it is 2 o'clock. This is how much progress I've made so far, but I now have to go for a 6-hour shift at work. So I will see you at 8 o'clock. I forgot to update you when I finished work, but I did do a bit more reading. But also, because my sleep sketch has been so shit, I decided to take my melatonin, and now I am fucking exhausted. And it is like 9:30, but I am putting myself to bed. Well, good morning! It is 8:30 in the morning and I'm awake, well rested. Oh, I feel so good. I even, in my bedtime reading before I actually fell asleep, read the whole of Moon Cop, which is a graphic novel, and it was just very sweet actually. It was quite sad. So that is 6 books down, so I'm still working on that Eyes Are Watching God, but that'll be book 7 and then I'll be done. But I do have a lot of work for my essay to do today, so I might not be reading until maybe this evening, so I will keep you posted. Whoops, it's 10 o'clock and I haven't done any reading at all or updated you at all. I've been doing tons of work on my essay that's taken up all of my time. Now I've got to do a little bit of bustle work. I'm so tired, so we'll see if I get any reading done this evening. Yeah, that didn't happen. I worked until midnight, then couldn't sleep for a while, so now I'm here, back looking exhausted again. I'm really, got way off the rails with this reading challenge because I didn't read a thing yesterday. I mean, I read a lot of journals and stuff for my essay. I did not read even 1 page of my book. Oh, and here's the worst thing. So I thought I would pause on the book and just go and read lots of secondary reading, see if I can start some stuff for my essay. But I didn't think that through because then I got spoilers for the book. So now I know how it's going to end, so that sucks. But anyway, today is another essay day, but I'm going to try and get some more of the actual book read because that is kind of the most important bit. Wish me luck! I've got a nourishing skin cream on my face, that's why I look like a snowman. I've got to leave that for 15 minutes, so I'm going to do 15 minutes of reading. Okay, well, 5 pages, better than nothing. 5 pages might be my grand total for the day, we'll see. I'm going to go and scrub my face off now and then get started on my work. I ordered myself a casual takeaway sushi just to treat myself for all my hard work, and it came with 6 sets of chopsticks. I feel personally attacked. Okay, I have officially had enough of reading secondary readings for my essay. I am just gonna finish this bloody book. Dinner break! Making such good progress now. Oh my god, this was brilliant and so heartbreaking. Oh wait, I was so busy being devastated at that book that I forgot to register that I finished the CRAMATHON challenge. I have now read all 7 books and I've ticked off all the challenges. Awesome! And it's only day 6 out of 8. So now I can just see how many extra books I can add to that list. Good morning! It is the 22nd of December, meaning it's the day I go home for Christmas! Just doing all of my last minute packing now, and then I'm going to be at home with my family and their big Christmas tree. So, I've been at home and totally forgotten to film anything for the last few days, but it is now the last day, the last hour really of CRAMATHON. I successfully read all 7 books, ticked off all 7 challenges, and then read a few other random chapters of various books that I found at home. So now I'm done, and now we're going to go off and have Christmas. Bye! Bye.